and today we're talking about how to be assertive. So we're going to be looking at how to be assertive in settings that are just life in general, family, romantic settings, and just like looking at why women, particularly women of color, are more subservient.
Yeah, so our special guest today is Karen.
Cartier
KK.
Even if it's not your character, sometimes you have to come out of character for people to hear you. Honestly, like, I can't just sit down and act timid and be like, oh, you know, woe is me. Like, you literally need to open your mouth, because at the end of the day, like, nothing's gonna happen if you don't make it known that, okay, like, I need what is mine, you know? Mm-hmm. So that was something that I had to put in my head. And like, even if I'm not really the type of person to like do confrontation, this is the moment to do it. I'm so sorry.
I think confrontation is uncomfortable for a lot of people, mm-hmm. but you just have to you have to do it. Yeah. And especially at this big age, like, I'm sorry, you need to, like, stand up for what's yours, or else people will walk all over you.
Confrontation is, like, different in different contexts. Like, it could be, let me not even elaborate, but let me leave my point there. It's different in different contexts.
Yeah, no. And even, so when Karen was telling me the story about how she got her jacket back, when you went back home to Brampton, like, you went to church and you talked about the story. You gave a testimony about how you got your jacket back.
Yeah. And I was like, hallelujah. I was like, yeah, because, you know, like, God is good, you know, and sometimes you just have to, and the reason why I wanted to show the goodness of God, obviously, and I also wanted to show people that, you know, sometimes you need to come out of your comfort zone to literally get what's yours. And even my pastor was like, you need to claim the things that God has blessed you with. And honestly, I had to claim that jacket. That's what it was, you know?
And when you were telling me the story, you were telling me, like, he was like, what's yours is yours.
What's yours is yours. Yeah, so, like, that's one thing. Like, we can't allow people to just take things from us and then just keep quiet about it, you know? It's like, and it doesn't even have to be materialistic. Like, don't let someone take your joy and be quiet about it. Don't let someone take your confidence and be quiet about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like especially in relationships, when you're not confrontational or you're not, like, making it known how you feel, then you are letting people take your joy, your happiness, etc. Because you're just like, well, I guess it's not a big deal. And that says a lot about how you value your emotions as well and your comfortability, right? I feel like, sorry, the idea of, like, valuing yourself is like if you're constantly settling. No, it's okay. If you're constantly settling, then that says a lot about how you value your wants.
Yeah, exactly.
You obviously are putting the other person's wants above you. Mm-hmm. But then sometimes I think that's kind of what I was taught growing up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, be the better person. Like, allow that person to do.
Yeah, through growing up, even through, like, sometimes through religion.
That's what I was going to say too. I didn't want to say
it. Turn the other cheek.
Yeah. And it's like, not every day.
It's turn the other cheek, but you have to draw the line.
Yeah, there has to be a line where it's like you're not just like being like a doormat and like getting taken advantage of, and you know, yeah. So.
Yeah, because like, are you turning the other cheek constantly until your neck snaps? Like, you know.
I wanted to specifically talk about like being humble as well. Because there's a lot to talk about, like, being humble.
I hate that word.
Well, part of me, like, okay, here's the thing.
I just feel like what the word humble means and how people use it are two different things. Especially when they use it in the context of women. It's just like, you're not supposed to know what you have.
When I think of the word humble, it's like reminding me that everything that I have is a blessing from God. So it's not like I'm, like, literally when I do things, I'm like, I'm not doing this with my own strength.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like the more you guys got confident, the more assertive you could be? Or
for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Definitely. I think they go hand in hand. Like, if you're not if you don't have confidence, it's hard to assert yourself in certain spaces because you're doubting, like, what you believe, right? Or you're doubting your opinions, you're doubting your thoughts.
Lydia, do you think you're assertive?
Not that I particularly think this is a positive thing, but I think I'm assertive in silence, if that makes sense.
Silence.
So I think, like, no one can really, just, like, due to the fact of different groups I was within during my teens, everyone was pulling me different ways. I went to, like, a French school that was really racist. I was part of this church that was, like, not cool, and just, like, so many different things for my life doubted me as an individual and created me to become a subservient person. Mm-hmm. And so I think I'm at a place now where I'm very assertive in, like, who I am, and I'm confident in, like, who I am. So you can come up to me and be like, hey, like, I fucking hate what you're wearing, or I fucking hate, like, whatever you're doing. And I'd be like, I actually don't give a fuck. Like, I know who I am and, like, where I want to be. But I think in spaces where, like, for example, if it was like a Black Student Association reflection, or it was a classroom where like somebody's saying reckless shit, like I don't see myself raising my hand, even if I've rehearsed it a million times in my head. I know that I can be not irrational, but I think that sometimes I lack the vocabulary to back up what I want to say. And so I never want to be in a situation where I can't effectively say what I need to say.
For you, it's like a lack of putting your putting your feelings into words.
Yeah, I think so.
You lack being assertive in certain spaces.
Yeah, because I think to be assertive, you need to. I think you need to like be really
Articulate?
Not articulate, but just like aware. And yeah, I guess articulate.
Aware of what you're saying.
You need to be aware of what you're saying. You need to be very like. You need to be very conscious of like every reason to why certain things connect.
Mm-hmm. So you know this thing, the people around you know more. Or
Yeah, exactly.
Or you're missing something, or you're explaining something wrong. Especially in like university settings, I think it's really easy to feel like the other people in the room are smarter than you. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're smarter than you or have more talents than you. It's just that they're being more assertive. And maybe they have certain attributes that make it easier for them to be assertive. Maybe they've always been able to be assertive because they're a white cisgender man. So they, you know what I mean? So they have the privilege in order to, you know, be confident and be assertive without having that voice at the back of their head telling them that they don't belong there, that they're not good enough, or they're not smart enough, or they shouldn't be in the classroom at all.
Yeah, for sure. Imposter syndrome is super, super real, and for those of you who don't know what it is, essentially it's the persistent inability to believe that one's success is deserved. So basically you think you've just like bamboozled everyone into having the